Hello and good afternoon. My name is Rob. I am that developer dad, and it is still Monday, July 22nd. This morning, I got gender and pronouns added into the species template, and those attributes are being to the um, applied to the NPC as it's being generated, and then fed out to the AI. This afternoon, I want to start adding things like selecting the height and weight of the character, how old they are, determining things like hair color, style, body type, etc. And we'll apply all of these things to the character as it's being randomly generated before we rag that out to our local language model for a more complete text description. Now, that's an awful lot of information, and I need to research it for, I think, the 8 species that we're dealing with for the 5E public domain or Creative Commons rule set that we're using. So rather than dig through the big giant PDF of how all that stuff to get all of the information for each of these 8 species, I figured it'd probably make a little bit or a lot more sense to actually use AI to help me do the research. So I'm going to need to keep species template up, and the template worker and the species 5e provider. Character appearance I'll keep up. Integument kind. Integument's just sort of the SAT word for hair, feathers, scales, bark for plant-based life forms, etc. And let me switch over to share my screen, and we'll dive in. Now, I did some prompt playing. Hey, Rev. I played around with some AI prompts against the 5e system reference document PDF that I had downloaded from Wizards a while ago, and just asked it to generate some tables for me. Now, what I did to get all of this is I went to OpenAI, and I'm just using the free version of their service, and I found a free marketplace app called ChatPDF. And I guess what I could do here is just quickly step through this. So let's do a new chat. And I want to use ChatPDF. Where are you? I want to explore GPTs. Here we go. And let's use ChatPDF here, just for laughs. All right. And it's capable of browsing. It can do DALL-E images, blah, blah, blah. Extract conversation from this PDF for our conversation. So I've got the SRD over here in my downloads folder already. Please rely on the information in this PDF for all messages in this conversation. And I gotta hit the go button here. Why is it being silly? Let me empty that out. Here's that. It's extracting it, doing the things. Okay, now I've already got this open somewhere else, and I think I just lost all of my document questions answered. Nope, here we go. I want to rename this chat to D&D 5e SRD analysis. Let me rename that again, because that's bonkers. Let's go all the way to the start. Here we go. Now, summarize PDF assistance. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my prompt from here. And I'm going to copy that to my paste buffer. We have a stray cat that has been living outside our house and bullying her way into the house multiple times a day, and she's causing chaos. So when you're using ChatGPT or any public service like this, never, ever, 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 ever upload privileged company data or private information for any of these assistants to use and chew on. With a private install, say through Azure AI services or whatever, you're considerably safer because Azure's got some pretty strict privacy policies around what it does with any data that's uploaded to its services. But when you're using a public service like this, you really don't know what's happening with the documents you upload or the prompts you send in. They could be retained and used for future training or what have you. So private company data never goes into these public things. Talk to your IT department about getting some kind of local assistant type service set up within your company's digital domain so that you can retain all of the privacy and privileged access around private company information when you want to do something like this. For this use case, this is a PDF of the system reference document for D&D 5e. Wizards of the Coast released it under Creative Commons in January of 2023. So this is perfectly legal, and I'm not violating any terms of use, and I'm not putting anything out into the internet that doesn't already exist. So this is a perfectly safe use case. But if you're dealing with private data, keep it private. So we've got this, and this is all right, but feet and inches and pounds and so on and so forth is actually a lot more mathematically difficult to deal with in code. We've also got some non-numeric values here and there, and I'd like to see, rather than plus minus 1 foot, plus minus 6 inches, and so on, I think I'd rather see the average height and weight as well as the variances done in metric. And for the other columns, like the ages, I want it to stick to numeric values here. So I'm going to say that's pretty good. Can you please redo that table, but use metric measurements for the height and weight columns and stick to integer values for the age columns, please. All right, and let's see what it gives us. All right. Average weight, slender build. Come on, guys. We're going to do this one more time. Much better. Let's do one more iteration. And if it doesn't quite get it here, I've got this table generated over in the other chat. But I wanted to demonstrate what this can do as far as helping us with our research around, say, domain knowledge. Let's do one more iteration. This time, I want a single numeric value under average height in centimeters and a single numeric value under average weight in kilograms. And if it doesn't get it this time, I'm going to cut my losses and go over to the other table that I generated while I was in between this morning and this afternoon. And already it says slender build. That doesn't give me math that I can work on at all. But it's pretty good. It's really quite pretty good. And I don't know why they make gnomes taller than halflings here, but whatever. Yeah, the cam's giving me a flat top. Let me, boop, there we go. Yeah, I see I lean back and I lean forward and it gets a little silly. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab this. I've also done a similar query for the integument information. That's hair, scales, feathers, bark, etc. And it had to take a couple of cracks at that as well, but that's okay. So there it is in US measurements, and here's our table in metric. And when I get to displaying this information, don't worry, I'm going to set things up so that it automatically converts metric to American measurements. So like we'll have things like 3 bananas tall, weighs about as much as a sack of pennies, that kind of thing, because we'll use anything but the metric system down here. So to apply these things to our templates, and this is sorted in alphabetical order, and my template registrations is not, here we go. So let's start with elf. Now we need to add some things to the species template to be able to do this. So we got to go to the definition for that. And we've got our gender options, all of this stuff, all of these things. And I'm just going to wrap this in a region so that we can hide it. Gender options. Come out to the end of the line. And region. Gender options. There we go. And let's just shrink this so that we don't have to deal with it. What's this? Oh, that's IntelliSense. Go away. Go away. All right. Public int average height in centimeters. Get set. Public int average weight. That needs to be one word, you silly goose. In centimeters. Get set. Now, how do we vary these things? Well, public we are going to need to set an int height variance, but we don't want to use a variance or an integer for that. What we want to do is spell average right. Height variance, math rock kind. And we're going to get set, and it's not going to be an int. It's going to be a math rock kind. And we don't have access to math rock kind. Do I want to give this a reference? I kind of don't. I think we're going to go back to an int. In centimeters. Average weight, public int, average weight variance in centimeters, get, set, and let's save this. So let's come out to our species provider. First thing we're going to do is elf template dot average height in centimeters is 167. Elf template dot height variance. Now my table over here says plus to minus 15. So I'm going to say 15. All right. So RevFry is asking, and I should have the ability over here somehow. I don't want to reply. I had added a thing the other day to, this message is already pinned. I don't want to repin it. So RevFry is asking, what pattern would I use to say shield +1 armor, and what pattern would I use to apply all modifiers to a property and get that result? Okay, I haven't gotten to applying equipment templates or anything like that, but the same kind of principle that I'm using here to apply species type things to our character sheet, we'd be able to use to apply the effect of different types of equipment and what have you to other aspects of our character sheet. Now, this is getting really, really awful. I think what I need to do is set up a private species template, create template, and it's going to take in string, species name, int average height, int height variance, int average weight, int weight variance. And I'm going to be adding more and more and more of those things as I go. Species template equals, I'm going to spell it right, template equals new species template, species name. I'm just doing this now because I can already tell that I'm going to get super sick of typing the same crap over and over and over again. Return template. Template dot average height equals average height. Template dot average weight is not weight variance. AVG weight. And finally, template dot weight variance. Average weight variance, CM. I need to change that. Equals weight variance. I don't know where that crazy property name came from. Weight variance. kg. I'm going to rename this to kilograms. All right. And I'm going to come back out here to the 5e provider. Weight variance in kilograms. Capital. Yes, there is always refactoring, Rev, but I've got a funny attitude about refactoring code. And it sometimes makes people a little bit angry at me because I have another name for refactoring, and it's waste. Sometimes refactoring is necessary. Frequently, refactoring is necessary as we discover new things about the domain or the workload that we're trying to implement, yes. But if we know the right way to do something before we start doing it, we should just do it right the first time. And even if that quote unquote right thing changes a little bit later, if we've done it as close to correctly as possible the very first time we did it, that makes refactoring into the new right way a whole lot easier. Average weight for an ELF is over here, 59. Gosh. 59. Height variance is 15. And weight variance is 10. Now I can delete all of that crap. Excuse me. There we go. You're right, Rev. He's saying that I just changed or refactored what I originally wrote, and that we're always shaping our code. No one writes it in ink the first time, and you are absolutely correct. I just really prefer, like I said, if I can do it right or really, really close to right that first time, I'm going to do that. So right here, I've got a whole bunch of really repeatable code, and I'm not dealing with age stuff yet. But I do want to get the average height, weight, variance. And you know what? I think I am going to go ahead and add, excuse me, a new dictionary, public, read-only, dictionary, keyed on string, int, and it is going to be age milestone. And I'm going to do a public read-only string array of age category equals adulthood retirement lifespan. And we need the semicolon. So down here in our and we'll make that a nullable int. That's setting up gender and pronouns. And age milestones. This is more of a const, sort of. Now let's go age milestones equals new dictionary of string and int. Copy that. Stop it. Null. 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 There we go. And I need retirement. And then I need lifespan. All right. So we've got slots for our age milestones. Public. Void. Set age milestone. String. Age category. int average age. Now, here we are about to refactor some shit. So, as I was jamming together this age stuff, I realized that they're always just going to have these categories here. And those categories are not going to change. So I need to come up to my framework, and I've got two framework projects here. I've got my game tools framework, and then I've got that developer dad framework. The developer dad framework is for C# language, C# and dotNet constructs that can be used anywhere throughout this application and have zero connection to our domain or the solution domain. The game tools framework are those constants and values and concepts that are tightly tied to the solution domain, but can also be used throughout the solution. These tend to be base class definitions, enumerations, things like that, and they don't tend to have a lot of actual functionality to them. I need an enum. Enum. Give me the enums. Oh, I'll just do it as a damn class. And I'm going to call it age category kind. Come on. Fat fingers. Rename age category kind. There we go. Yes. And it's not going to be an internal class. It's going to be a public enum. And all we're going to have is adulthood, retirement, lifespan. And I could have done those one line, but I like to do these things. Whoops. All right, so the average age at which a member of the get off. Feline visitor trying to do a code review, although when cats do it, I call it a cat scan. The average age at which a member of this species is considered an adult. The average age at which a member of the species is considered an elder. The average maximum lifespan of members of 4 members space this species. Save. So we've got those set up, age category kinds. And I'm going to go back up into my species template and I'm going to get rid of my age categories. Because magic strings suck. Now, you'll notice that I didn't use an enum up here for the default gender choices because those might change. And as a matter of fact, they definitely change when we're customizing the gender options for different species. I don't think elithids or mind flayers actually have genders. They only have doom and chaos under their robes. So instead of a string, we're going to use age category kind. And I probably need to add a reference. I absolutely do. I probably even need a project reference. Whoops. It's different in full-fledged Visual Studio. I actually have to right-click on the dependencies and add a project reference. And we are going to bring in GameTools.framework. Where are you? I don't even see it. Townsfolk Manager, Rule Set Access, Dice Engine, Workload Provider. Oh, cancel. Because, duh, I'm trying to add a reference to itself here. That was silly of me. I need to come down here to the rule set definitions. Add project reference, GameTools.framework. Here we go. And I might as well add a reference to that developer dev framework now while I'm at it too. Okay. Now here, I can say bring in the Game Tools framework concepts. Age, category, kind. And I'm not going to set defaults for these milestones. And adulthood. Age, category, kind, dot, retirement, age, category, kind, dot, got to spell it right, lifespan. Save. And then down here, we got a set age milestone, and it's going to be age, category, kind, and age milestones. And I have this set up as a public dictionary, age milestones, age category equals average age. And that's it. So now that we've done the setup to handle age categories, we can species 5e provider do this. Private static set age categories. Here comes the kitty again. Int adult, int retire, int max age. And I need to pass in a, I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Nope. This species template. I have to set that. This species template. TPLT, because I can't type template consistently. Return TPLT. And there's that cat again. She's the stray, and she's a pain. TPLT dot set age milestone, age category kind dot adulthood. Hey, hon, can you chase her out, please? As you're going out the door, she is being a pain in the neck. And adult. There. Now I gotta fix this anger code by setting my using statement at the top. And then I just do this for the other three. Retirement. And lifespan. Retire. And I think I called it max age. Yep, max age. Save that. So, because I did this as an extension method that returns the variable that's passed in here, I don't have to do elf template equals blah, blah, blah. Instead, I can do things a little bit more elegantly, and I'm going to tidy this up just a touch. So I'm going to put all of the average stuff on one line and the variance stuff on the next line. And then dot set age categories. Is it going to let me? Oh, okay. It's not going to let me do that here. But I bet elf template dot set age categories. Okay. Not going to let me do that here, but if I pull this method, I'm going to cut it from here and go over to species template in our definitions. I'm actually going to add a new class here. Add class called template helpers. We're going to make it public static. I'm going to paste that here, make it public, save it, come back over to the 5e species provider, and I bet now dot set age categories and an elf reaches adulthood at about 100, retires at around 600, and its max lifespan is 750. So now that we've done all that code and all of that setup, I can copy this. And this might take a couple of tries, but I'm going to bring ChatGPT back over here using the metric chart for the species heights, weights, and age categories. Please generate a C# construction, C# invocation using the following snippet of C# as a template. Please generate a C# code block for each species. I'm going to paste that. And let's see what GPT does with this. Still going. Humans, dragonborns, gnomes. Look at it go. Half elves. Well, I quite like that. And I'm just going to copy this code, pull GPT over here, and my initialized templates just got a whole lot more complete. Now, let's fix our indentation here. Boop-de-boop. This line needs to come out here. There we go. And it looks like it nailed the rest quite nicely. Can we build? Will it break? Build the solution. I don't see any compiler errors. And I've unfortunately reached my limit for using GPTs today. I'll get some more tokens later today, I'm sure. But it has done what I needed it to do for me. Because I want to take the next 10 minutes and apply height, weight, and ages to our characters. So we've got our templates initialized. We built. That's all fine and good. I'm going to shrink my GPT window down here. Well, before I do that, I want to just do a quick side-by-side visual comparison. I really wish that'd go away. Can I make that go away? Show Cortana button, show people, Windows Ink, task view, I want that. News and interests, turn off. Go away. I also, let's make that search thing go away. There we go. I do want to do a quick visual double check of these different template things. So dwarf average is 137, average weight is 68, height variance is 15, weight variance is 20. Set age categories is 50, 250, 350. ELF 167, 59, 15, and 10. Yep. Adults at 100, retire at 600, come to the end of their lives at around 750. Halflings. Average height is a little less than a meter. Average weight is 18. Height variance is 30 centimeters on either side. Weight variance is 5 kilograms on either side of 18. Age categories is 20 for adulthood, 90 for retirement, 150 for going off to the Grey Havens. Humans, 167, 64. Yeah, these values were pulled directly out of that table. I just wanted to take a look and verify that our information was factual. Now, we need to apply this stuff. So, down here, inside our species, first thing we got to do is go NPC dot appearance dot height in centimeters equals, and let's just take template dot average height. We'll do the same thing for weight. NPC dot appearance dot weight in kilograms equals template dot average weight in kilograms. And NPC dot age in years equals, we have 3 things that we can pick from. So, what we needs to do is pick a category. Actually, what we're going to do before we do that is I'm going to extend card deck. No, I'm going to use DiceBag. And I'm going to extend DiceBag. I'm actually going to modify it. Yay, keystroke combinations. And I'm going to create a method called that returns a Boolean. I'm just going to call it coin toss. Now I got to come down to DiceBag, the actual implementation. And I can shrink all that stuff up. Public bool coin toss. And what coin toss is going to do chooses a random Boolean value simulating a coin toss. And to do that, all I'm going to do is var, actually I'm going to say int value equals roll 1 d2 dot result -1 bool result equals value is greater than 0. Get a value of 1 or 2, then subtract 1. To give us a value of 1 or of 0 or 1. If value equals 0, we're false. If value equals 1, we're true. Return result. Okay. So, over in template helpers, not the template helpers, silly me, template worker. First thing we need to do for age, for NPC age, let's see if they're retired or not. Bool is retired equals dice.cointoss. Int min age int max age. If is retired else. So if they're retired, min age equals template dot age milestones dot age milestones age category kind retirement. And we'll get rid of the anger code. Dot get value or default. Max age equals template dot age milestones age category kind dot lifespan dot get value or default. If they're not retired, min age equals template dot age milestones age category kind dot adult get value or default. max age equals template dot, and I got to spell stuff right, template dot age milestone age category kind dot retirement dot get value or default. There we go. And we're at 2 o'clock, but I'm going to keep going until I've got these things fleshed out. Now we need a way to pick between those two numbers. And I want to create some statistical variance around those things. So what I want to do is I'm going to go out to my main framework. And I've got contracts and type converters. Add. No, this doesn't belong in there. This belongs in my randomization engine. And for now, I'm just going to add it to the DiceBag. And what we're going to do is we're going to declare a new method called int apply fuzz factor int base value int fuzz percent and what this does is calculates a random number within fuzz percent of the fuzz percent, Rob, of the base value. Save. And there's another one that I want to do. Int apply variance range. Int base value. Int plus minus amount. Calculates a random number that is plus minus amount around base value. All right, so our DiceBag is now holding coins and some other logical randomization stuff. We're probably going to want to change the name of this thing to something else at some point, or pull these functions out into some other kind of general chaos creator. But let's implement these. Shrink this down. And so apply fuzz factor, fuzz percent, var plus minus amount equals we'll calculate our plus minus amount by getting whatever fuzz percent of base value is, i.e., if base value is 100 and fuzz percent equals 20, then our plus minus amount is 20. But if base value equals something else, then our plus minus amount will change proportionally. Proportionately. There. Plus minus amount equals, and I believe it would be you know what? I can never keep this math stuff in my head. So we're going to go to Copilot. Copilot is pretty good at explaining how math works, but really crappy at actually doing arithmetic. Given this C# snippet, what's the function I need to write to correctly calculate the plus minus value? So fuzz amount equals fuzz percent minus base value over 100. And here's a C#. Plus minus is fuzz amount divided by 2. That doesn't feel quite right, but let's try it. Let's copy this, pull this over here. There we go. Plus minus, fuzz amount, fuzz percent times base value divided by 100. So let's test this. Fuzz PCT times base divided by 100. I just want to test this out visually in the comments, because I don't fully trust Copilot all the time. Is given our test case, so 20 times 100 divided by 100 is 2,000 divided by 100 is 20. Okay. So that means for 25, let's say we want to do 10% on either side of 25 divided by 100. We would get 250 divided by 100, which gives us 2.5. And of course, that's going to get converted to an integer, and it's going to give us either 2 or 3. I don't care. Close enough. I like it. So we've got our plus minus here. So now what we can do is we come over here down into apply variance range, and plus my var adjustment int adjustment amount equals range size equals plus minus amount times 2. Yeah. And I got to throw here. Throw new not implemented. Just to keep things happy for the time being. And I need private int get random between int min int max. Now, I just so happen to have already written some code earlier in this class that gets me a random number between 1 and some random number. So let's grab this. And I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go here, min and max. I'm not going to use int math rock kind. I'm going to use max plus 1. And I'm going to return the value. Now, to test this, I could pretty easily just come up here. Let's copy this. And in here, I'm going to comment this out. Var roll result. Nope. Int value equals get random between 1 and int math rock kind. Now remember, we're adding 1 when we're down in here. And if you are new to this series, you wouldn't know that way early on in this process, I created a whole bunch of unit tests around the Dice engine. So we're going to pin this right here. Like 1,500 odd tests, some of which run thousands of times. Because I want to make absolutely certain across thousands of rolls that it's behaving itself correctly. And we have 0 failures. And I trust my test suite, so I am happy. I'm testing for rolls that are above the number of sides on the dice, stuff like that. So I feel pretty good about trusting that get random between, because I just tested it several 100,000 times. So int adjustment equals get random between 2 and our range size no, we could do 1 and our range size. So we could even go as low as 0 and our range size, because then we're going to subtract the plus minus amount int adjusted value equals base value plus adjustment. And now we're going to return our adjusted value. Fantastic. Now, up here in the apply fuzz factor, I can return. I'm not going to return a function call. Int fuzzed value equals apply variance range to base value plus minus that we've calculated based off of our percentage, return fuzzed value. Save. Now, what does any of this have to do with applying ages and heights and weights and all of that stuff? Well, let's come over to our template worker. And I actually, DiceBag, this get random between, I actually need that to be public. And I need to add it to the behavior contract. We're going to copy that, come over to DiceBag, paste it there, save it. Nope, not with that button, but this button. And I'm going to need a semicolon just to keep things happy. Let's come to our template worker. And I want to dice dot apply variance range to template average height cm, template dot height variance in centimeters. You do the same thing here for dice, or for weight, dot apply variance range template dot weight variance in kilograms. All right. Now, I want to apply a fuzz factor. Min age equals dice dot apply fuzz factor of min age, and I want to say 10%. Max age equals dice dot apply fuzz factor of max age, and I think I'll leave it at 10%. Nah, 20%. Save it. No, I'm going to keep it to 10. And now finally, NPC dot age in years equals dice dot get random between min age and max age. And I need to go out to my game framework, and on the character vocation, name, description, skills, title, length of career, public bool is retired. No. String retired value. Public bool is retired. Get set. Is retired. If true, retired. Otherwise, empty. Save. Now, name, I got to come up here. And what I want to do is private string name. And we're going to expand this a little bit. Name equals value. and we're going to return. Do a little bit of string interpolation. Name. Retired value. I'm going to make that private. Because we're just going to include that. And I don't want the space there. I want it outside the parens. Save. Over in our template worker, if isRetired is true, npc.isRetired equals true, not npx, npc. Dot vocation. That's right. I have to set the vocation. And we've applied our fuzz factor. We've got random between. Okay. All right. Save. And let's try running it. Let's see what we get. We're up to 90 minutes on this, but that's okay. No, let's go full random. So we've got a male half-orc who is 174 centimeters tall, 80 kilograms. He's a cartographer and is a sage. And he's 39 years old. And I believe half-orcs don't live that long. Where's GPT? What's the max age on a half-orc? Oh, around 60 years is when they retire. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So that's that. And of course, we didn't get into any of the appearance stuff, but applying the appearance is going to be very much the same kind of logic as I went through here for applying age in years is 6. How the hell did it get that? I need to step through some of this stuff. There is no way a 6-year-old half-orc had a background as a guild artisan and is now a navigator. We better test some stuff here. So let's pop back here. Something wacky's going on. I wonder if that fuzz factor is doing it right. But let's see. So I'm going to actually just drop this right here where we're calculating height and weight. And let's build another one. No, I don't want. Let's do another. No, let's just generate it. What have we got so far? Our species is a human. Average height is 167. Average weight is 64. Template is about 15 centimeters either side. Weight is about 25 kilograms either side. So let's see what happens in here. Let's step in. Blah, blah, blah. No. So our plus minus amount is 15, so our range size is 30 pounds. We're going to get a random between 0 and 30, and then subtract 15. Our adjustment is negative 12. Our base value is 167. So we're looking at somebody who's a little more than 1.5 meters tall. Our adjusted value is 155 centimeters. Let's do the same thing for weight. We'll just step over it. They're 54 kilograms. Wow, they're tubby. Kind of like me. Are they retired? Nope. I do want to step in here. Make sure I'm not doing something stupid. Value is 0. Let's do it again. Let's step in. Get random between is a D2. Our value is 2. Our value here is 1. They are retired. So, wait. You're going to come back up here. Set next statement. No, you dope. I'm a silly goose. Step in. Value is 1. Let's do it again. Do it again. Oh, yeah, duh. Value is greater than 1. Result is bool result equals value as greater than 0. Golly. It's always going to return false. Want to pick any of the NPC attributes? No. All right, we know that's working. We know that's working. Are they retired? Yep. So retirement, lifespan, minimum age is 90, maximum age is 150. What's our template? What species are we dealing with here? A halfling. Okay. So we're going to apply a fuzz factor. So they are anywhere between 92 and 149. And they're 40. What? No. Buzz off. Get random between min age and max age. Min age is 92. Max age is 149. I screwed something up in there. Min. S. Now, I could have spent 6 hours writing unit tests to find all these things, but all right. Do this and this. Are they retired? Nope. Okay, good. So hopefully we won't see a 6-year-old cartographer again. Our min age is 14. Our maximum age is 57. Our age in years is 42. Continue. We're dealing with a half orc. Yep. Female half orc, 68 kilograms, 175 pounds. She's a Fletcher, used to be a soldier. Let's see what we get. Let's generate the AI description based off of that information. And once we see the result, that will be the end of today's stream because I've already gone well over an hour just as we test and troubleshoot and all that stuff. And I'm cutting the top of my head off again, and we can see that the tokens are being crunched. Azura's muscular build speaks of her relentless dedication to combat. Yep, she sounds like an orc who is now an arrow maker. So let's see what we get out of this thing. Now, what I'll probably do is set up the other physical attributes tonight. And I think tomorrow we need to pivot once again. Rather than adding more details to this generation process, I think we need to get some more of the basic stuff that we're going to need to turn this into a minimum viable product. So I'll be doing some work in GitHub, creating issues, reprioritizing, all of that stuff. We'll talk through that in the morning, and then we'll dig into the next highest priority. So standing at a towering 175 centimeters, that's not quite 2 meters. It's about 5 foot and a bit. So that's not really towering at all. Azura's muscular build speaks of her relentless dedication to combat. Her fiery red hair is often tied back in practical braids, and she wears armor adorned with half-orcish runes that shimmer under the sunlight. Boldly confident yet surprisingly compassionate, she approaches life's challenges head first while maintaining an unwavering loyalty to her friends and allies. Her no-nonsense attitude often masks a deep well of empathy for those she protects. Seasoned soldier by trade, now finds herself in the midst of recruiting new members for an elite defense team due to unrest in the region. Her past as a frontline combatant has honed her skills and shaped her into an indispensable leader. That's not the description of a Fletcher, but whatever. Come on. My Wi-Fi seems to have disappeared my PC. Here we go. So, sense of duty, crucible of war, forged her not only into a skilled fighter, but also taught her the true strength lies in protecting those who cannot protect themselves. We're going to have to do some stuff around this vocation of Fletcher and make sure it's actually accurately choosing her current circumstances based on that vocation. So I might have to adjust the prompt a little bit. But good enough for today. No. Oh, stop it. I did a silly. And let's just stop that. And we got a lot of stuff done today, even though we ran a little bit over. So I thank you for joining me, and I do need to run because I'm old and I've had too much coffee. Take care, everybody.